What's up, everybody? Welcome to Shared Screens Elite Four for a very special Pokemon Day. Of course, it's February 27th, the 28th anniversary of Pokemon Red and Green coming out in Japan, and we all celebrate around the world. Why it's not a federal holiday and I had to go to work today, I don't know. But we have 3 out of the 4 members of Shared Screens Elite Four today. We've got Chris, a.k.a. RumblePack92.
Yo!
We've got your boy, Austin Ernie.
Me.
And I'm your host, Jordan Deeb. Alec is not here because he is voting in the Michigan primary. So if you have a primary coming up... Yeah,
he's Pokemon going to the polls.
He's Pokemon going to the polls, just like Hillary Clinton predicted. So remember, everyone, go do your part. Go vote. All right. I have not felt this anxious for a Pokemon Day in a while, partially because I truly have no idea what could be announced in this.
Me either.
On the other hand,
Chris
I know
does.
everything that happens in it.
I don't know where Chris is.
I got everything spoiled for me, so like
great.
I am really excited to go into it with you guys. I would say maybe pull the expectations down a little bit. There are some really cool stuff. There's one thing in particular for me, and I told Austin this prior to the show, that is really exciting, particularly for the way that I like to interact with the Pokemon IP in general. But I wouldn't call this like a banger direct either. There is something really cool in it. But it's 12 minutes. It's a little smaller than I think a lot of people were expecting. But I mean,
a lot of people were like, "Oh, the metadata shows it's only 12 minutes," and somebody like Joe from Cerebi was like, "Guys, the one that announced 2 different games was only like 17 minutes. Like these things are usually kind of short."
The big thing was very unexpected. I'll say that.
Okay, I think somebody texted me something not knowing I was going blackout, and they only texted me one thing out of context, and I've straight up become the Jennifer Lawrence me of like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
But, we don't have to get into predictions or anything. I mean, we made a whole video on what we want to see from the Pokemon Company 2024. When we talked about remakes most recently, the conversation did kind of shift into our prediction for this, so let's not waste any more time. I've been waiting for this all fucking day. Y'all ready?
I'm ready, baby.
All right. And here we go.
I'm excited to finally watch it, though. have it, knowing everything that's in it. I'm excited to finally see it in action.
Ooh, I like that. I like what that
Pokemon
means.
presents.
Like what this means. This is what it could mean. It's impossible to know. We'll never know.
Impossible, they say.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ishihara from the Pokemon Company. Today, February 27 is Pokemon Day. This is the date that the Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green games were first released in Japan.
He stole my line.
Our adventures with
we already
Pokemon
went through that.
started
Come
with
on.
the simple fun of
the
collecting,
program.
trading, and battling, and the Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green games have expanded to fit into so many facets of daily life, including walking and
The
sleeping.
plush. Is he covering a plush?
We'll keep
That's what he's
challenging
covering, a plush.
ourselves to create new ways to enjoy Pokemon, and we hope you'll continue
Shout
your
out that,
adventures with us.
Is that Mega
To the OG
Charizard Y back
We will
there?
be
Is that a
bringing
regular
you
Charizard?
all the latest news about Pokemon.
Looks
including
regular
our
to me.
newest
It's hard.
title.
Plushes
I
are
guess
hard
it makes
sometimes.
sense. I guess it makes sense. There's
Please take it away.
Venusaur and Blastoise back there too.
Hello, I'm Utsunomiya from the
There
Pokemon
again.
Company. I hope everyone has enjoyed their adventures in the Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet games so far.
I
To
have.
commemorate Pokemon Day, we've planned a series of Terra Raid battle events where you'll
Still
be able
feel
to
like-
Oh, I didn't know about this.
Venusaur, Blastoise, and Charizard.
Hey!
The first
I
of
love the
these Terra
Terra
Raid
Raids.
battle
I have the
events
mighty
will begin
Charizard.
tomorrow.
Now I gotta get Venusaur and
We
Blastoise.
hope you
Complete
will
the
all
set.
enjoy these raids. Today, I'd also like to share the latest updates
That
on a
shelf
number of
crooked?
our other games.
Venusaur's on? Venusaur's just so heavy.
Please have a look at this.
He's a big boy.
Chonky. I like that transition. It's a good one. Oh, Pokemon Go update. Makes sense. Begin.
A collaboration event with Pokemon Go is on its way.
I'm very excited for this new anime. I know I've talked about it a lot, but
Especially because it'll be on Netflix too, which is really cool.
Yep. I'm excited to get in on like the beginning of it.
Pikachu wearing Cap's hat is making its debut.
Let's go.
It even knows
Makes
an
sense.
attack new to
Makes sense.
Pokemon Go, Volt Tackle.
Oh,
New move.
Volt Tackle's not in Go. I didn't even know that.
Charcadet,
Weird, right?
Armor Rouge, and Ceruledge are coming too.
Rule
And Nico
Edge.
and Roy will be dropping in when you snap a pic and Go snapshot. So set out
That's
on
fun.
an adventure with your new friends.
I'm a Rouge and Ceruledge. I know they objectively look cool, but I look at them and I go, Mega Man.
Mega Man. Yeah.
I don't look at it as a Pokemon. Pokemon.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
Armarouge I use in my 2CG deck, and that card fucking smacks. I can essentially run like a Rain Dance variant of a fire type deck, which is really fun.
I called that we'd get a sleep update. Killer Cinematic.
It's here. It exists now.
I could use this too to improve my sleep health. Like, I'm not, but I could.
I would.
Same.
It's the one Pokemon game I'd be absolute trash at.
Same. I don't.
I would get fucking nowhere in Pokemon Sleep, dude.
I would hate to be the person to be like, yo, my sleep game was so bad. Pokemon Sleep game. I would feel like a worse person.
That's the goal. That's what they want.
Raikou.
I call it Raikou. I don't know if that's correct or
I
not.
feel like he's much bigger than they just represented him in that dude's bedroom.
He's a big dog.
But he looked like a small dog. Here's what I'm getting at.
Big puppy. I like these transitions a lot. They're
I agree.
Very cool.
Agree?
Master Sex.
Makes sense. I forgot this existed, if I'm being honest.
I
downloaded
forget
it.
about it until they make a new announcement for it every time. I'm like, oh yeah.
This is on my phone.
We're the
I've
greatest
never
in the
touched
world.
it.
You're the greatest and strongest partner I could ask for.
I just don't like the
Fight!
I'm not a like a gotcha kind of. That's gold in it.
There are some dialogue.
Is that the rival?
The rival from Gold and Silver, yeah.
Yeah, so
What do they call him?
Silver,
Oh, okay. Good.
because your character is gold.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha, I forgot.
he's Ethan.
Mistake. We call him George. Georgie.
Another one
exists as well.
I forgot about. Yep.
I was considering
Gimmickle, nice.
because I offloaded all my social media apps, so every time I was in the bathroom at work, I was looking at my phone and I was like, what the fuck is this?
So damn
Diglett
adorable.
sandwiches.
He's so cute. Again.
Oh, I want a little Chef Boy Coco. That'd be so cute.
Someone next. Night. Got that yet? Called it. Let's go.
Yeah, because Miraidon is coming to the game, I think. I saw
Is that
them
something you saw?
posting about that not too long ago. Yeah.
Give me something
There you
weird.
go.
What's great about and I realized the reason I dropped off is the characters are
Oh, Phalanx too. That's cool. That's just like a MOBA thing. Yeah. That's just a MOBA thing in general, Cerulean Edge. And it's like I'm not super into MOBAs. I fiddle with Unite every now and then because it is a very casual MOBA game if you want it to be. So like occasionally I get an itch, I'm like, I kind of want to play like a little bit of it, and I'll pull it out. I have it on my Switch, you know. Not
A
bad.
little bit like a few matches and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
That checks out.
All right, here we go.
I like what I'm hearing.
I love Pikachu.
Moving on, please have a look at this video.
Okay.
I wonder if this is the thing I'm really excited about. This is the one for me.
If this is Pokemon Diet, I swear to Christ.
Nah, this is the one for me.
Oh, this makes so much more sense now, Chris. Is it just the trading card game on mobile?
Well, that technically exists.
Oh.
This is a new trading card mobile game.
I didn't know that was
It's a. If you're familiar with the Yu-Gi-Oh games, you have like Yu-Gi-Oh proper, and then there's one called Duel Links, which has like a streamlined, shorter version of matches and slightly different rules. And they're doing the same thing for Pokemon to better fit the mobile thing. And so like you get like a couple packs a day. You can trade them. You can battle with people. I'm so fucking on board with this. I don't think so. But they are leaning further into it being a digital card game, and they're gonna do some really cool stuff. You'll see with like the card art here in a bit. So yeah, you see quick battles. I think you have like 4 Pokemon as opposed to 7, and that sort of thing. Like yeah. This is the cool thing, I think, these immersive cards.
Whoa!
That's fucking cool.
You didn't know, but this card also has another Pikachu and 3 Ponytas. So actually,
And a Caterpie.
Caterpie.
And so I think this is really smart because collecting Pokemon cards in particular is kind of like the big thing around it, and like the digital version of the Pokemon TCG that exists is primarily on deck construction and battling, whereas I think this one has a bit more of an emphasis on trading and collecting, which I think is really smart. That's kind of where the zeitgeist is around it.
I might do this just to get the free packs.
Yeah, exactly. You can just build a little digital collection of cards. You don't have to spend any money and still get free cards every day. Like that's nice.
It's daily?
Was the world's first look at Pokemon trading card game Pocket. This game lets you easily collect Pokemon.
And then I love playing the
the
TCG game, and so having like an easier to learn like streamlined version of Battles 2 will probably convince like some of my other friends who have kind of been on the edge to like finally play it with me.
As a three-party collaboration with Creatures
I'll give this Pocket a chance.
Please, if you're watching this and you're into this idea, please play with me. I will be playing this.
To mark the launch of this title, here's a message from Mr. Yuji Kitano.
And they do have like the Creatures Inc.,
Kitano,
the company that makes the TCG game, working on this game as well.
Hello everyone, I'm Yuji Kitano from Creatures Inc. I'd like to start by thanking everyone for enjoying the Pokemon trading card game.
Master Sex,
With Pokemon trading card game Pocket,
Is this
we
dude
hope
the
to bring
inspiration
you all
for
a new way
Giovanni,
to enjoy
or
the
whatever the hell's
Pokemon
name is?
trading card game.
See how he's dressed?
We are hard at work developing digital cards.
Look at it. Tell me that's not Giovanni.
He does look like a villain, yeah.
When we develop physical
The thing I'm the
cards,
most
we
curious
strive to
about
please by taking great
is
care with our paper quality,
because it's going to be like
colors, and
a
printing
different
process.
like battle style. I'm curious how
Since
they're going
this game
to
uses mobile devices
like change
rather
the
than
actual
paper,
properties of
we're
the
challenging ourselves to
cards
express
in
that care
that
in
regard,
new
just
ways
like
that are
balance
only
wise.
possible digitally.
Because
such
like
as using
Yu-Gi-Oh!
the
Duel Link still
characteristics
uses
of the
all of the
screen to show
same
off
cards that the
brilliant
regular
colors and
Yu-Gi-Oh! game
stylish
does.
effects.
It's just a different battle format. So I'm curious if they're going to adjust balance.
One way we're accomplishing this is with immersive
Not really
balance
because
differently.
not really because the
Experience
idea is that
leaping
they're
into the
supposed to be
world of the
fast
card
anyway. So I'm
illustration.
curious if they are going
What's
to
more,
balance
we've
this around
developed
having
new streamlined game rules based on our existing
different game rules,
battle
or if the
system,
cards
so
are
you
still
can
going to be
enjoy a quick
1-to-1
battle
and
during
it's
the
just
free
going to have a
moments in
different
your
meta.
day.
That's the thing I'm really curious about.
Okay.
I would prefer a 1-to-1 and then just seeing what the
Our
meta
three
looks like with
companies
like
are
less
all
turns or
working
whatever,
hard to
you know.
deliver a fun experience for those of you who already enjoy.
But
the
I mean, I
Pokemon
do think
trading
that,
card game,
like collecting
as
and
well as
trading is
those
probably
who've
going to be
never
kind of
played before.
the primary zeitgeist
We hope
around
you
it.
look
Yeah, I'm
forward to
excited
the
for this,
results of our
actually.
latest efforts.
It's a
in the
cool
world of
idea.
the Pokemon
I
trading
think it
card
really is,
game,
especially
Pokemon
because
trading card
Pokemon
game
Trading Card
Pocket.
Live
Thank you so much.
just does not feel good on mobile. It's
Thank
clearly
you,
not
Mr.
built for
Kitano.
that. So it's nice to have something that is built for it.
We
It comes
plan
out
to
this
launch
year,
the
too, which
Pokemon
is
Trading
exciting.
Card game Pocket within 2024.
Hopefully soon. I'm itching to play this.
Please look
Is this gonna be
forward
the
to
big
more
Pokemon
details
game for
in
this
the
year?
future.
Yeah.
Just one more thing.
Yeah.
We'd like to end today's
you just
presentation
confirm?
with one final video for you all.
Okay, the big one.
Thank you for tuning
This
in.
is the big one.
It's apparently not this year.
This is the big one.
Hi, Pikachu. And the unknown are back. I like seeing them. What's that say? What's that say? So.
So long.
Is that a question mark?
Yes,
The
it is.
fish hook. The fish hook. A coat hanger. Am I being hypnotized right now? Ooh. Oh, this is the next Legends game. Without a doubt, this is the next Legends game. This little presentation is really cool.
I'm so excited to see you guys' reaction to this.
I like it. Mecha Pikachu. Oh. I don't know what I'm looking at, but I like how it looks. These like a mixture of gens? Definitely is. Yes. Oh, Absol, my boy. Heracross. It's a brown Heracross, too.
Wait, Kalos?
Which one is that?
X and Y.
X?
That was the little ice and tower.
Building it?
Oh shit!
That checks out. Wait, what? Then an A.
ZA.
Oh, that's what he meant by pizza, Chris.
Releasing simultaneously
Za.
2025.
Yeah.
Oh, so it is next year. Good.
It is
That's
next
really
year.
good.
Bracelet.
Thank God.
Mega
Is
Evolution.
that Mega?
Yeah. Because it's
Megas
Kalos.
are back,
It's coming
baby!
Okay.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
So,
So-
oops, wrong.
Right into
So
Company.
I do. There's a tiny bit of additional information that's out there.
Okay.
Please lay it on
This
me.
was the thing that was spoiled for me. But Pokemon Legends ZA. Somebody also pointed out that the really tall dude. It's been 3,000 years. His name was AZ.
True.
Oh.
But the Z is very clearly XYZ, like poking at that, right?
Mm-hmm.
From what I have
All-encompassing.
heard, and granted, most of this is still unconfirmed. Take this with a large grain of salt. But the idea is that it's an urban redevelopment plan. I don't know where this is going to take in the timeline. Clearly, I think the aesthetic of it does not speak like ancient Kalos to me.
Agree.
Which I think is really, really interesting. But the
I'm actually gonna just jump on that part of the
it's my understanding that the entire game is going to take place within Lumio City.
Interesting.
Like no wild area?
Who knows?
How'd that work?
I don't know.
You just rob people?
I'm really curious at the idea. I don't know if this takes place in the future, because this aesthetic here is really, really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Are we
if
time
it takes place prior to
Like if it's how
X and
Lumos
Y.
City became to be.
Exactly.
The reason why I'm so fucking shook is like everybody was like, "Are we getting black and white remakes? Or are we getting Johto remakes?"
Right.
And we're getting a Legends game based off X and Y, based off Kalos. So it's like,
Yeah. Nobody predicted Kalos. Like my
It's a
my
weird
brother
choice.
texted this to me this morning, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
so my friend who spoiled something for me, all she texted me was just Kalos and a bunch of explanation points. And I was like, "Wait, did they do what everybody wanted? And now you could go to Kalos because Spain and France are like connected?"
Right.
No, this I literally couldn't have predicted. Like a fucking
A Legends game in Kalos was not even anywhere near my
Not on the radar.
my predictions. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about it.
anything to do with Kalos wasn't on my radar because I was like, they gotta do black and white or Johto next, right? No.
Right.
If it's just like a modern Legends with that kind of gameplay, I'm in. Like
Any kind of
like back
Legends
in the day.
game, I'm here for, honestly. Like
Exactly.
I
Legends was
really
like
liked Arceus. Yeah, like I thought that one was super fun.
I liked it for what it was, but I didn't want, and I think I've said this before, like I didn't want that to become too much of the blueprint for Pokemon. Like the open world stuff, yeah, but the survival elements and all that, like I
think it's
get what it
smart that
was.
they just created a new line. I think that's really smart and intelligent and
Well, also
gives their dev time and
I'm going
stuff.
to pause it real quick. Another reason why I think this one might be either
Come on,
in
Za.
the present or future is Legends for Legends Arceus was written in a very like calligraphy type of style.
I think
wrong?
we're time hopping.
If we were time hopping, why the fuck
Don't-
is it
don't quote
Legends
me.
Celebi? What the fuck is going on, man? Or is this their way of finally giving us Pokemon Z?
I think we're time hopping. Don't quote me
So
how.
the
But...
Z is Pikachu's tail. I'm just realizing that.
I
very-
like that a lot.
That's very fun. And yeah, I mean Z of course, like hinting at Zygarde, right, where Arceus was the kind of focal point of the first Legends game.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really not a lot of information about this game so far, and even like the whole thing like taking place in Lumios, that is very, very much a rumor. I think it would be kind of strange to have a Pokemon game without like a wild area, basically.
Didn't expect this to
Unless
be.
it's- I guess as you're like developing the city, maybe it's like because like we saw like an almost like.
But
it's
the thing that stands out to me is redevelopment,
Yeah,
which I
not
think is
development.
interesting. Is like, does it take place after X and Y? Is it before? Like, I'm really curious.
I do like how they're just playing with the lore like that, though. Like they're just like, here's a chunk of time where we didn't do a lot with, so we'll do this now. And like I enjoy that a lot. But
Pokemon Z
for
was
for this
100%
being
a canceled game at some point.
Yeah.
what was?
Like Pokemon Z, there's no way that wasn't in development because X and Y never
Sure.
got any form of a second version, whether it be sequels, an
Sure.
Ultra, or a third version. Zygarde was hinted at for so much stuff. The anime ended up being called XYZ. There's so many unused things in the data of that game. There's like the thing in the distance that was very much a you can go to this someday maybe. Like, I really wonder if this is them finally doing that potential third game right. But now I'm like,
Could be.
are we just completely breaking any pattern of remakes or something? Or like, I have so many more questions now that I have answers.
I think Legends. I think we're still following a pattern. I just think Legends that doesn't follow a pattern. Does that make sense? Like, I still think we're going to get the pattern of what we've had. It's just Legends does its own thing. Legends beats to its own
I
drum.
guess makes sense, but my assumption originally was like, oh, Legends would start getting paired with remakes. But I mean, I guess we only had one, so you can't base it off anything.
I think the Legends games are going to beat their own drum, but they're going to tie it in a way that just makes sense to the other games. But with this being like a shorter presents, like I'm genuinely shocked because it was mostly updates and then this one thing for the most part. I'm shocked that there was 2 games that I want to play, with that being Pocket and this one. So like overall, I think this was like a genuinely not amazing but like quality filled Pokemon Presents.
Listen, the one thing I asked for was that in 2024 they don't come out with a mainline game.
That's what I wanted to, and we got that.
I'm so happy to hear that this is until 2025. My only thing is but why is it Legend Z? Like, why is it Legend ZA?
I'll take what I can get.
The thing that kind of sticks out to me is like, one, with it coming 2025, especially on the backs of so many of these like Switch 2 rumors, right? Is that this could potentially be some form of launch or near launch title for a new Nintendo console as well.
Has Nintendo ever launched with a Pokemon?
No.
Pokemon usually likes to wait a little bit into the new life cycle.
Which is what interests me. And so, is this going to be a dual release? Is it still going to be Switch 1 but playable on Switch 2? Like, I'm really curious.
What did it say? Sorry, Jordan.
It just said 2025.
Yeah,
that's it. It was no like.
Late, it just said 2025. What I will
so like, it still could be a few months into the release of a new console.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at.
Depending on if is the Switch 2 a Switch 2? Is it a Switch Pro? Is it an enhanced Switch? Like, we don't really know. Black and White, while for the DS,
rumors at least point toward
for the DS.
So sorry.
No, you're good. But I just
How
wonder,
dare you?
like,
Goodness gracious.
if this is supposed to be more like the DSi from the DS, right? The Switch, whatever the sequel to the Switch is, that would line up with stuff that's been done before. Because Black and White, I don't know if they launched with the DSi, but they had like
They were near the launch of the DSi. I think at least the rumors point towards the Switch 2 being while I think it will be kind of an iteration of the design philosophy of the Switch, it will technically be like its own console.
Yeah.
I think somebody had, I can't remember if it was a leak or confirmed. There was something about it talking to have like a similar like card and chipset to the like the Xbox One and that sort of thing. So I think it will be a more powerful console.
But backwards compatibility is a thing. I mean, I'm sure Nintendo's and Pokemon don't want to miss out on the millions of Switches there are out there.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all to learn that it plays like Switch 1 games or whatever on top of that.
This would work on the Switch 1 or on the
which is kind of what I'm getting at, to where it's like this could technically be a Switch 1 release that is playable on the Switch 2.
Do you think it's called the Switch 2?
No.
I would love for it to be called
I think
the
they've got
Super Nintendo Switch.
I think they've got a silly name for it. So, and I wouldn't put it past them after the Wii U and the new 3DS.
Yeah, but I think with the Wii U, they're now like, hey, no, we need a clear name, because the Wii U
maybe the Wii U turned them off of
like it was Wii Plus or like an extension.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think it'll have Switch in the name. Personally, really? but I mean, there's no betting on anything that Nintendo does. You know what I mean? They could call it the Super Switch for all we know.
I think it would be called the Super Nintendo Switch, and maybe they just said Super Nintendo Switch 2, just to kind of like.
Yeah, I think it's really really interesting overall. I do like, assuming let's assume that this will be a Switch 2 game. I do kind of like them leading off with a Legends game first rather than a mainline, to kind of test the waters a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, a big part of the thing was like that game ran well, but people didn't like how it looked. So maybe like they're taking the time to make it better. Hopefully it looks better. Like, I think for once I'm actually saying like these Pokemon games are coming out like at a they're at least being placed in a spot that makes sense for the development team and to get the best out of the product, which I cannot say often about Pokemon.
And hopefully like with both Legends and Scarlet and Violet, like the main thing was how it looked and ran, and so hopefully they're paying attention to that.
Yeah.
I hope
and,
so.
And,
God,
and,
I
and
hope
that
so.
this is a much more optimized game. Fingers crossed. I think if they were going to make a more optimized game, Legends is a good place to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how true this is, but I remember like when Legends was coming out and we were Legends had come out and we were on the verge of Scarlet and Violet. People were like, "Are we getting too many games in 1 year?" type of thing. Like,
right?
Somebody said that like it's
funny
that, but also like I might also be getting what I heard wrong, and what I heard might have been wrong. But the idea that like they were working on an open world for Scarlet and Violet, but when they needed another game, because from my understanding, they start new generations the second a generation launches. So like Generation 10 has hypothetically been being worked on since the launch of Scarlet and Violet, which means Scarlet and Violet were being worked on since the launch of Sword and Shield. Somebody said that like from what they heard was that when they needed another game in between those, they kind of broke the bare bones of the open world concept down, and that's how we got Legends. Again, I don't know how true that is, but Legends does seem to be a way for them to experiment with stuff before adapting it in a bigger way.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah,
I'm here for it. If we get more similar gameplay to the previous Legends game, I'm down for that.
Yeah, I like the Legends gameplay a lot, and so as long as it's kind of close to that, I'm sure I'll enjoy this game. This was the big one for me was TCG Pocket.
I'm very interested.
I think it was really smart to one have a dedicated mobile game for the TCG, because the TCG kind of has its own fan base there. Like I know plenty of people that just play or collect the cards without like being super into Pokemon or anything, and focusing on collecting like this. I think something that we learned during lockdown and beyond is that there is like a big like content community around like collecting and opening Pokemon packs, and so having a game that is built around that, like the economy there is collecting cards. They say up front, hey, you get 2 free packs a day. I'm sure you can pay money for more.
I mean, the last time something similar to this happened for me was Marvel Snap, where it was like an IP that I was interested. It was a card game, but it was simple. And I think if there's something like that for Pokemon, like I'm all in.
And like there's such a big, it was almost like a phenomenon of having like streams of people just like opening Pokemon cards, right? Like that was kind of the first, and now it's kind of spread to every TCG that's out there. And so having a game dedicated to that, that also has battling on top of that, because like you can technically get like all of the Pokemon cards in the digital version of the game is called Pokemon TCG Live. You can get all of those in live, but the economy there, like if you're not willing to spend money, like earning the cards there is really difficult.
Does the game does the one that's already out that you're talking about, TCG Live, is there a way for you to like scan a card that you actually own and use it digitally?
No, you get if you get like a pre-made deck, you'll get that deck in the game, and then when you buy packs, you get a little card that gets you a pack in the game, but it's not going to be like one to one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're getting an additional copy of that pack, but the cards you get in both packs are going to be different because they're both randomized. You know.
Gotcha. Okay, I get what you mean.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if they have something like that here
Similar.
too. Yeah. To where like, hey, here's a code for TCG Pocket if you buy like a physical pack or whatever. And I like that with what they're showing on the screen now, where they're leaning into it being a digital game and having like a new like art form as well, because collecting cards is such a zeitgeist at the moment. And for me in particular, like the availability of it, I think is what excites me the most, because it can be expensive to get into Pokemon card collecting, but now here's an opportunity to one, get plenty of free cards, be able to trade with anyone else that's playing, have a simpler version of the game available. It's just, I think it's a more accessible way to get into the trading card game that I really like, especially because like the demand for physical cards still to this day is unbelievable. Like the prices of full art cards is just unreal. Like it's hard to get into collecting the card game now.
Have careers that are just like Pokemon card.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll kind of go both ways to where like if people lean more into the digital side of it, then maybe people will ease off on the physical ones, and I can finally build the fucking deck that I want to build.
Well,
But yeah,
Chris.
that's the big one for me. I'm a huge fan of the trading card game. I have been since I was like 9, and so I'm really stoked to have a simpler, more accessible version there. It's genuinely like 2 free packs a day. I love opening packs of Pokemon cards. You know what I mean? I don't have to spend money to open packs of Pokemon cards. What?
That's what gets me.
But hear me
That
out.
paired with the next Legends game, which was my game of the year it came out. Like,
Yeah,
I loved it.
I love Legends like this one. It's not a blow your mind kind of Pokemon Presents, but it is very good for
Quality.
me and the things that I want out of it. Yeah.
Okay, but just hear me out, guys. We've never had the unknown as part of the like Pokemon Presents transitions. Johto confirmed.
Johto confirmed.
Johto confirmed.
I saw some people on Twitter being like, "How are you gonna fucking bait me with unknown like that and then give me a Kalos game?"
Is it that to me that just speaks in, and this might never have been done before, but like this will just be like the theming they have for other Pokemon stuff later on.
I wouldn't be
or whatever.
surprised.
So if there is another announcement, it will have like the same unknown in there or whatever, and then we'll eventually get that game announcement, if that makes any
I'm
sense.
kind of surprised they haven't like really went in on the unknown as the letters more.
Yeah, like just in general, like that's a good point. They've never really like
it
sold
makes a
that
lot
home.
of sense, and I liked that. I liked that a lot. I think it looks really cool.
Something about like seeing this come up now. Something about the way like this folder, like this confidential folder looks. It looks like between the 4x3, the kind of texture-ish look of the paper, the color, it looks like
It looks
maybe,
older.
Yeah, like maybe this is gonna be a Pokemon game that takes place in like 50s to 80s, somewhere in there. Like,
I mean, I see tape. The
There
invention of tape.
There was something.
when was tape invented?
there was something about like the initial bit where it almost looks like blueprints that give me like a very almost like Industrial Revolution kind of look. That's why I'm still kind of leaning towards it taking place prior to X and Y, to where it's like we help develop Lumias as we see it in X and Y.
But
You know
then,
what I
like,
mean?
the whole digital
But then
thing,
this throws that
it's
off
also,
completely.
like, Pokemon is like a more advanced society, so do they have like 3D blueprints in like the middle of the 20th century?
And that's what I'm curious about. I think it would be really cool if it takes place after everything that we see happen in X and Y. You know,
It's both. I'm telling you.
Austin's all in on the time travel.
We will have to
They
wait
always do
till
time
next
travel.
year to find out. But thank you so much for joining us, everyone. This was a very exciting Pokemon Day. I need to have more questions answered, but hey, for the next one, we'll be here again. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.